What's going on? Oh, look at the fall colors. Got some of our equipment here. It's our high density apple orchard. Got 4 different varieties in here now. We're going to plant 2 different ones here this fall. The colors are really starting to pop. I'll pull down one of these rows here. These are our trees that hit the drought a little bit. Not many leaves left on them. Oh no! A tree! It's falling on our machine. We're gonna get that bad boy fired up tomorrow, I think. We gotta finish clearing the fence line. That tree definitely fell on it. Who knows if that's gonna start. We've had some problems with that. We'll walk over there and check that out. Beautiful fall day. Colors are just popping. We're gonna come over. We're gonna get this gate open. We'll go check out that machine. It's got the tree falling down on it. That should be a good enough gap. Had some oaks planted here this last fall, or this summer, which will be apple trees here in 2026 when our nursery is. Those trees in the nursery are done growing. Let's see if the old girl took any damage. Oh, there's a big old buck rub on it too. Right on the tree next to it. So this thing we haven't been running this in probably 8 months. So we'll see if it's gonna fire up. Big old buck rub, but this tree just snapped clean off right there at the bottom. Luckily it was just a little guy. Not too much. Oh, slid right off of there. Had to be careful as we didn't want to scratch the paint. God dang. Oh, yeah, we did a little scuffed her off a bit. But she looks good. Yeah, we're going to take all this out here. Well, I guess maybe we could check the oil, see if I'm going to need anything tomorrow before we get started. Why not? I swear to God, if a mouse jumps out of here, I'm going to freak out. I can't stand mice, especially when they pop up out of nowhere. I don't have a rag, so I'm not sure how I'm going to... Maybe find a leaf. Don't want to use my pants. That'd be no good. Let's see. Oh, yeah. We're in business. We are in business, folks. Really? That thing's going to stay locked like that, huh? Wait a minute. Better check some antifreeze, see if there's any in there. Oh, man. It's almost going too smooth. You ever just have those days where everything just seems like it's going right? When you just know it shouldn't. Now I have to jump down and open up this door. Now we got the tree off of it. Hydraulics are a little low, but it's also not in the check oil position. It's about in the exact opposite. Well, I guess the only thing to check now is to see if the battery's, oh shit, ouch, whoa, god dang, look at the thorns on this bad boy. I walked right into that. Yikes, that one got me right in the pants. Oh man, our plastic got a little warped. Looks like we might have maybe some critters living in here. Oh man, we'll find out. Trash bag for our seat. Obviously, this is not the fanciest. Usually we got a couple bees nests, but you know, that's normal. We'll see. Oh, we might be in business. One time there was a mouse nest up in here, crawling all over the place. Oh, she fires right up. Listen to her purr. Wow. I can't believe it fired up. Whew. Guess we should let it run for a little bit. Oh shit. Get my super fancy seat cover for when it rains in the cab, because this top hatch doesn't stay shut. It just blows open in the wind sometimes. It's a tough look. There's still thorns all on my pants from that fucking... Yeah. I was gonna take a tube of grease to get it. Look at this thing, it's as tall as I am. Oh, beautiful colors. So over the winter I was working on cleaning up this next path here, because before the woods was exactly like this all the way up to this fence here. And so we're trying to clean this out, get it taken care of, smooth it up, and make it potentially plantable in a couple years. But that's going to require some work. But this is obviously a project that we don't get to very often. Kind of laid back. Been buzzing our Ranger around. Got a lot of maples. This was previously stumped. So you'll see over in the other corner where we're gonna go later, we've been running our Cat 936 loader with a rake on the front, and that really pops the trees out easy. But there's big old stumps everywhere in here from the last time it was stumped, and so, or what, last time they clear cut it. So I got to rip up stumps and thumb around and pretty much move all of the dirt to get it all out, which is a bummer. But okay, I think we'll shut her down now. Everything seems to be good. Maybe we'll oh yeah. Man, I think it's an understatement to it's an understatement to run one of these things with one hand. It's a bit of a tough look. See, we'll move it down into the check oil position. Okay, lift this up. We'll curl the bucket a little more. I think that's what I said, right? Or was that out all the way and down? I think it was like this. We'll spin a little bit. Now we'll set her right down. Alright, we'll go check. See if I'm gonna have to bring some hydraulic oil out tomorrow. I can't believe it. Everything is right where it should be. That's a relief when you let a machine sit for 8 months. Usually something's not right. Guess we could also bounce up here and check. Wow. See, when we first bought this machine, we had to take the whole rotator out and get it sent out because all of that gear oil would go right down and straight through to the ground, which we didn't know when we bought it, which was pretty sweet. So got her all fixed up now for the most part. We'll tackle that tomorrow. So right now we'll go back and we're gonna buzz across the field to our other piece of equipment where we're taking some trees out. There's some coyotes we could run down and come ripping out of here. That'd be something. Big old chunk of land we bought last year too. 3 years ago we bought this. Oh, the oats are not as smooth when you go across it the opposite way they planted. God damn. Oh, that's a little better. We'll go this way. Holy dusty. It's gonna be dusty out here. We'll check this out here. I packed this down with the packer a little bit, so we had a slightly smoother path around this field. This is all gonna be cherries here this fall. A couple weeks. We'll see what Tyler's been getting himself into over here. So originally, right where the Ranger is here, either looked like this with all these super tall poplar trees, or it was all the way thick, just like this with all these little poplars. So Tyler's been rutting around with a rake on our loader that's over there. We'll go over and check that out in a minute. Show you guys that what we use. As you can see, just years and years of poplar trees built up. It's rough out here. So while we're doing this is we're going to extend our deer fence around this property. It's part of it is fence out because we didn't own it, and now that we do, we are going to extend the fence from this corner straight across the field that way. But we wanted to get all of the deer habitat out first, so it's easier for us to maintain it and keep the deer population out of the fence. But what I thought was cool is deep in the woods, someone left an old, I think it's is it a Chevy? Not sure. It's too bad someone ditched it like this, but that was a cool old little rig. Grill's gone, the hood emblem's gone. But yeah, we just found this in the trees. We didn't even know it was out here. It looks like he's shoved all the other stuff that's not wood up into the back of it. You can kind of get a measure of how long those trees are that he's pulling out. Yeah, so we're making progress. What the main goal was to get this corner open here in front of us so that we can move this whole fence that runs all the way down to where I opened up that gate earlier, if you were watching at that point. And we're gonna run it straight from this corner all the way across and over and connect it to our other fence. They were adding almost 1.5 miles of deer fence, so that's going to be quite the addition. I think that'll put 300 or 400 acres inside this deer fence that we're putting up. So that'll be a big fire when we go to light that once they dry out. But we'll see. We will see. Again, our old beat up Chevy here we found in the woods. Zachary, Big fire. Yes, it will. So get back on this thing. We'll go show you guys the loader. We really need some moisture around here. Oh, getting my ass beat out here. Where are you at? I'm on the Dockery farm, which is over by Western Road. Yeah, it's dusty. Don't know if I'm going back that way. Too much dust. Too much dust for my liking. Manitoba in 18 months, buying land and homesteading. I'm trying to watch a dozen videos a day to learn anything, starting advice. Well, my advice would be probably stay away from cherries. But buying land can be a daunting task depending on what condition it's in. It's full of trees, you're trying to clear stuff. If you're renting machines or hiring out that kind of stuff, it gets pretty expensive pretty quick. Okay, so this is the loader that we use. It's our Cat 936. We've got a forklift here for moving our packer. We have a bucket attachment for it, as well as a rake with some tines to push the trees out. This is what he uses to pull those trees out over in the corner we were doing. I'm not sure why he's not out here today. All of this rock, this pile is about as tall as I am or taller, probably 6 foot high. All the guys all pick by hand out of this bucket, which is just not a job that I like doing, that's for sure. Walking all day in the dust. Oh, I see a broken window. That's fresh. It's nice to see that. I wonder why. We got tree branches up behind the lights. Oh man, we got a towel on the seat. Oh, it's dustier than heck in here. Whew. Yeah, we definitely spidered the window at some point, so that's impressive. Roof's kind of falling apart. I haven't been in this thing in a minute. You can see he's been running it with the windows open, and oh, that's tough to tell what if you have any issues going on. Oh, tough to check your temperatures or how much diesel you have when your stuff's completely covered up. You hate to see it. Buying land off family, it's all trees, just all trees. Well, that can also be fun because you can rent some big equipment and pull stuff out. Unless you're not much of an operator, which you never know. Might be just as cheap to pay someone to do it that knows what they're doing instead of wasting your own time. But so that's our loader. This is our K7220. We were doing some injecting earlier this week. That's a packer, goes behind and packs it. You can see the actual strips here where we're going to be planting the cherry trees later this fall. We have about 80 acres we're going to plant. So if you're interested in learning that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can get notified when our planting video goes live later in the beginning of November. We're going to move on. We're not going to go back that way. It's a little too dusty out there to go across that field again, so it's our makeshift driveway, just made of a bunch of sand. Gets a little sloppy. hope you're getting a good deal on that land you're buying off from family. Gotta say hi to the neighbors, gotta stay friendly. Hopefully I'm not dusting them out too much on the road. Just covering up her mouth like I was gonna dust her. You hate to see it. So this is still the same deer fence that I walked through over in the corner where I opened up the gate. We make all of our own cattle guards. Maybe we'll stop in here. We'll show you guys the stuff that's in our old barn. So these are all fan units in here that we use to... Is that an animal? Nope, maybe just a tree. So these are all old fan units that we just have a motor and a transmission connected with a drive shaft to the fan blades. These are all fabricated by our shop. Lots of farmers here use these for frost protection in the spring to help move warm air in an inversion situation out of the orchard, down and through the orchard, and move colder air out in order to save your cherry crop. That's why we use these. They're very simple. When the batteries are hooked up, they just have a on switch and there's your crank button. Sometimes you got to prime them a little bit. Like I said earlier, these are all made from old vehicles. This is a 74 Chevy pickup. They're all different, slightly. That one's got a bird's nest on it. Mice like to hang out in them when you go to start them, or birds pop out right when you start cranking them and they scare the shit out of you. We store a lot of stuff in the barn here. This is an old flatbed trailer we converted to hold our spools of wire for when we put up our apple trellis and our high density apples. This is the trailer that we use to pull that wire across the orchard, putting it through posts. We hook them up, each wire for each line, up to here, and it pinches the wire and then it pulls. And we drill every one of our posts and put the wire through. Maybe we'll buzz over there and I'll show you guys that if you can manage to have the patience to stick around that long. I know how most people are these days. Yep. We'll head back over to the Ranger, buzz back over. What a gorgeous fall day. What's everyone else doing today? Anyone farming out there watching? Uh-oh. Hey, thanks, man. Welcome. I just picked up doing the live thing. I think it's my third one. Easier way to reach some people. Just trying to get out, be active, show people what farming in northern Michigan is like for an apple and cherry grower. Cherry season wrapped up in beginning of August, end of July. Apples didn't take very long for us, maybe a week of picking because we're pretty much fresh and brand new at that. Go down this row, it's hedged. These orchards, or this orchard here is, planted in 2011. We got a 14, 15-year-old orchard. Nice. The younger generation also likes the live streams. Found me through the shorts. Yes, I do post the shorts. Usually about one or two a day. That seems to be the way to get the most attention out to people because they don't have the patience to sit through some of the longer form videos that I post once a week. But these trees, like I said, these are some of our best producing the trees right here. This orchard is about in its prime, 14, 15 years old. And it's been great. The trunks are in great condition. We haven't had any hail or damage to them. This orchard across the street is a 2015 block. We grow all tart Montmorency cherries, some sweet cherries, but majority of it is tart cherries. Our weed spray program is on point. Literally no weeds, just burnt right down, which is great because they have some serious competition. Weeds hold a competition with the trees for nutrients in the soil, so we like to keep the weeds down so that the tree roots can pull in all of the nutrients that they need from the ground and not have it stolen from them as something as a pesky weed. Well, that tree was dead. Some broken limbs. We're pulling back up to our apple orchard here. These trees that we're going to look at first were planted in the, what was it, last fall, just about 1 year. So we painted the trunks, we put in all of these posts. So what I was talking about earlier, we'll turn that off so we can hear. I'll wipe the dust off my phone. So like I was saying earlier, all the way down at that barn where I was talking about the trailers, this is the wire that I was referring to. This is what holds the trees up because these are dwarfed rootstock trees. The root system really isn't big enough to support it like a big tree, like a fully grown cherry tree or apple tree. So, and they grow smaller with smaller spacing. We do that on purpose. And so, like I said, these are the wires that we use. Forget, it's just a high tensile wire. We tie it around here, and it's anchored back here. And then to secure them, we clip on these clips, and we tape the tree to it with a little pistol taper. It pretty much goes here, clicks it, and then it cuts it and tapes it, staples it all at once, and that keeps all of it in there. We clip on, like that trailer actually pinches this wire and pulls it all the way through. And we stop at each one of these posts. These posts are, I believe in this variety, they are 30 feet away. Might be a little more. But so we put all these posts in the ground individually, pound them all in and smack them from the top. I have a shorts video and showing that. Then we go through and we drill 4 holes in every single post. This one is 20 inches from the ground. Then I believe they're 28 all the way up. So these are, what side of the orchard are we? These are Gala, a variety of Gala. When we first planted them this year, they were maybe this tall, just maybe half. So they really did a great job growing. We're happy with the progress. We're hoping by maybe next year, the goal is you want to get them all the way up to the top wire before you put a crop on them. So we'll keep moving on our little mini fall farm tour. The weed control, not as great here. The weeds did get a little out of control while we were harvesting cherries this year. So we've been kind of struggling and fighting to get them back under control, which we've done a good job, but this late in the year, it doesn't make much sense to spray anything. So we're kind of dialing that back. We do run our own irrigation. We put all the pipe in the ground, under the ground. Here's the ends. There's some at the ends of the rows. There's a pipe underground. You can see where we ditch witched it up earlier. We got a blowout there, and all of our valves are Bluetooth valves, so we can do it all from our phones. We can adjust the hours that they get watered, when, and just check the status of them. That's right there. We are putting up a big old barn here, I think next year, for our all of our apples, store all of our apple boxes. This is more piping for the apples we're going to put in this year. All the trickle line, it's a big old fat pallet of it. Grass seeder, And of course, we have our giant stockpile of posts that we will be putting in the ground. And this is our makeshift apple bin storage that we have because we don't have a barn. That barn's gonna go in here. Big old barn. This is our old 580 case. That's a Swinger forklift. That is usually used primarily for bees. We do have our own pollination company where we have bees in Florida right now. And we put all of our own bees on all of our property down south and up here. Do we do any work with solar? No, we do not. I don't know if Jake is still in the chat, but their farm has done some grant work with some solar and they put it up on their shop and office roof, I believe. I'm not sure. He'd be the guy. He might chime in if he's still in. But they did a whole system like that. We haven't really gotten into it. But so we got all kinds of semi-loads of bundles. We're still missing just a few. These are womanized 5x12 posts. That's what we use for the apple trellis. These are 20 bushel apple boxes. See our farm right there. Town in the year. Each one of these stacks has 3, so one's upside down and there is another one in the middle sideways. This is Cherry Bays, our Jake, if he's still in here, the same individual. We borrow their double row planter that we use for planting the apples so we can put in 2 rows at a time, which is much more efficient than doing 1 at a time, especially when you're doing tens of thousands of trees. You just gotta be more efficient. Time is money and money is time. So like I said earlier, these are all 5-inch posts diameter. Then we come over here and we got these from a hop farm that was pulling their trees out. I don't know if you can tell the difference or not, but some of these are 2 times the size, which is a little too big. So we usually use these as the anchor posts. They're these ones that, as soon as I put my finger in there, these ones that are on an angle, and that helps hold the tension for all the wire there. And all these lines that you can see right here, 1, 2, 3, all that is lines where we're going to plant apples this fall. All of that will be another Gala variety and a Honeycrisp. So that's going to be planted this fall. Planting that this fall. We did put out 100 ton of lime this year. That just got finished up last week. So my latest long form video has that highlighted. You can check that out. Yeah. I guess we can go back up here and check out our brand new well. We got a giant brand new well put in that cost buco bucks, but supposedly can do 60 gallons a minute, like a mile away, which is that's probably over 200 gallons a minute right here at the top of the hill, which we'll use to do all of our apples, as well as the adjacent farm where we're pulling out the trees I mentioned earlier. So we'll come up here to the barn. Oh, we'll show you guys our big old monster loader. It's kind of a bit of a mess up here right now because we had to run power to the new well and power to the building. So everything's all dug up, messed up. It's our John Deere 5525. That's our rototiller we're using to prepare the strips here. As you can see, the guys who are hooking up the power are making a bit of a mess of everything. These are our yummy Honeycrisp apples that we picked that now are looking more like deer bait than they are Honeycrisp apples. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna have a lot of work to do with getting the rest of this cleaned up. There's a brand new barn we just put in. This tree is leaning the wrong way. We're gonna have to get that. I think we're gonna have to call someone to cut that down. We should have done that before we started, but So we got our mini excavator here where we just put in the new well. Get under. This is the old system. Still works. This is the old well. This is where we fill up, wash some machines and stuff here for the apples. We're gonna have to cut this pipe down here later, and we're gonna tie this well in with our new one over there. So if you can kind of see the difference in the size of everything, you can see this here and the green John Deere filter we have there. Very different setup, much bigger. You see this, here's the computer for our well pressure tank, and the one over here, everything is like triple the size over here. You see that's a maybe 2-inch pipe to a 4 coming out of the ground. It's crazy. Everything's going to be so much more heftier. The pressure tank is triple the size, and look at the computer on this bad boy. I mean, it had to have its own post just to hold it up. You gotta be kidding me. I'm in Michigan. I'm in northern Michigan. That's my pickup truck. Big Chevy guy. It's our brand new barn we just put up. We got some urea nitrogen here. We got our 2 stainless steel V plows that we're storing out here for right now. If you have bird problems on your farm, crows, eating sweet cherries, apples, regular cherries, anything, these are like $60 on Amazon, and they're just on a big giant pole. And you just put them in the ground and the wind blows them and they dive up and down like a falcon. And that scares crows away because they're deathly terrified. It's very interesting. And so we'll stop in here and show this thing. This is one of our oldest, biggest pieces of equipment. Yes, no. We know what's in the ground there. We don't go digging for no reason. We do call miss dig before we do any groundwork. This is our biggest, oldest piece of junk on the farm. We have 2 of these actually. This one does not run. We bought this one for parts. The other one's back by our shop and office. I mean, you just look at the sheer size of the motor. And this tire is as tall as I am. Probably 6 foot or something like that. I mean, it has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7. A 7-step ladder to get up there. Then you just look at everything of the size. It's crazy. The cylinders are huge. Tires are huge. I mean, look at the hydraulic tank. That thing's got to hold 500 gallons. Even just the regular hoses just to the... I mean, look at the size of that cylinder. That's 2 times... I mean, that's like a maple tree. And that... I mean, everything on this thing is just... They don't make... You don't see stuff like this up here because we just not that big agriculture or that big... Is it cold where you're at? Is the ground hard yet? Usually it's pretty cold this time of the year, but we have a little warm up of 70 degrees or so this weekend and into next week, and that's going to drop back off into the 50s. So it's not quite cold yet like it usually is. It'll dip right off here in November. I mean, you can just see the size of the radiator on this. Well, welcome, Craig. Thanks for checking it out. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yes, it's gorgeous up here. We have so many freshwater lakes in the Traverse City area. From over here at the top of the hill where you come in on the driveway, you can see Elk Lake, you can see East and West Bay and Lake Michigan all from one spot. And then over here, the other way is where the famous Torch Lake is, the 3rd most beautiful lake in the world, I think it is, voted on National Geographic. These are the rolls of fence that we use in the and this is the deer fence that we use, the rolls of it. There's bigger spaces here at the top and smaller gaps here, so it keeps all types of rodents out as long as they don't go underneath it, which is tough to do sometimes. Yes, Michigan. Oh my gosh, we got some metal bands here. These are the actual posts that we use for the fence on the edge of the property. We use 4-inch treated womanized posts. The apple trellis is 5-inch posts, and the anchors are usually a little bit bigger. If you were here earlier when we were looking at our front end loader that we're pulling trees out with, these are the forks that also go on the front along with the bucket. We have a vibrating roller packer, box grader, a small John Deere finishing disc. This is our John Deere 630 disc. This is what we pull also with our 7220. Some of the discs are just so beat up you wouldn't see anything. I bet you haven't seen anything like it. We bought this thing and it had some beat up discs, and I've been beating the heck out of it, kind of doing some disking where we normally wouldn't, because it was old stumps and trees and rocks that we can't see, land that was never farmed. So that always has its own challenges. We have a side discs. So we grow apples. Yes, we grow apples, but primarily cherries. We have about 30 acres of high density apple right now that we're going to continue to add on to this fall right here, all the way up and over. And apple varieties, let's see here. What do we have? We have John of Golds, John of Prince, Premier Honeycrisp. We're planting regular Honeycrisp. We have Ambrosia, Gala. A majority of what we have in production right now is processing apples. But I think in the next year we'll actually start to harvest our Premier Honeycrisp, which will be a new fun adventure for us, especially because the way the apple market is right now is fresh fruit or fresh apples go into storage for a long time. Isn't weed illegal in America? Oh, isn't weed legal? Yes. Maybe not necessarily. Lars, where are you from? Obviously not here. Weed is by the state. Michigan, it is legal to have weed in Michigan. There are dispensaries in pretty much every single town. You're very lucky to have a business and something to pass down for generations. Got a new subscriber. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thanks for checking in, Craig. Looking forward to seeing you again. Oh, from Norway. Are they what we call baking apples, especially this time of the year, are good to have? Yes, a couple of the varieties are great for apple pies and apple sauce, is what some of the buyers that we sell to do. Not as much the apple pies, but they definitely do sauce and apple slices with the fruit that we send. All of our spacing is 12 foot wide. So we have to use, this is an 8-foot woods mower. That's what we use to mow all of our apples with. This is what we use for weed spray to eliminate the competition in the soil. I have an email connected to my on my profile you can get to for any business inquiries. You can check that out there. Yep, the fall color changes are here. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to cut it here for the day. I do have to go move some other chemicals around from another spray barn yet today. So I wasn't planning on live streaming for this long, but I had a lot of great interest and comments today. Very grateful for that. Looking forward to seeing everyone here again. Do we have any pasteurized apple cider or apple juice at your location? We don't, but we do sell our own cherry juice, cherry concentrate, and dried cherries, chocolate covered cherries. All of that is available online. If you're interested in the cherries, the apples are just a new venture for us, a very small portion. We have about 2,400 acres of cherries and only 30 something of apples. So we're primarily focused on the cherries, but are diversifying a little bit to make a little more money and dip our toes in the apple business. So yes. Okay, thank you everybody. I'm gonna peace out. Thank you for all of the support and all the comments, questions. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody here again. What's our website? It is shorelinefruit.com, I believe. Or you can search the label Cherry Bay Orchards. And that is where you can find our products in 47 states here in the United States. And Amazon also sells some of our products on there also. So, all right, thanks everybody. We'll catch you guys next time.